Okay, TikTok.
49 degrees at 7 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Liz Warner. President Trump highlighted his leadership and plans for the U.S.
So I featured this radio, and I adapted it to run on different styles of batteries than the original. It originally used one of those large packs with the three-prong plugs, where the one pack was the A and the B battery together. And I didn't have one of those, and they were expensive to source. So I adapted it to run on what I did have. This radio calls for 90 volts, and I'm currently running it on a 67.5 volt Eveready battery, and I always show you that. You can see where I heat shrink tubed the old three-prong wiring and created these connectors from scraps I had from other radios, and I did this. So because I have so much room and because this radio calls for 90 volts, I am going to rebuild this. So let me show you what we're going to do there. I'm going to remove the tips on these batteries, and when the tips are removed, they should fit in to the case like that, in that orientation. They're a little tall now, but let me show you what I mean. Well, I have these with their tips removed, and I realize that's not going to work. So we may have to make this a slightly smaller battery. Let's see what we're going to do once we open it. Well, it appears that this is the best I'm going to get. So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, these batteries start at a voltage above the starting point of 9 volts. They're actually more like 9 and change. So I believe this will give us our 90 when we're done. We'll find out with our digital voltmeter, and we'll find out with our regular voltmeter. So let's start with this. Let's see what we got. Okay, so this is where we start. This is our start. An interesting fact, these Eveready here that you see that appear to me to be from the late 70s and early 80s, they were inside of a 90 volt battery, but the ones that are more rectangular and stand up tall, they were inside one of those. And I found other interesting things like that, where inside these cardboard boxes have actually labeled Eveready batteries from the manufacturer. They're stuck inside of a cardboard box. This isn't the first time. I've gotten D batteries like that. I've gotten C batteries like that. I'll show you. Okay, these C cells were inside of a 7.5 volt filament battery. And inside of there was 5 of them. 2 of them were just unmarked. They had no wrapper on them at all. They were just in their metal zinc sleeves. So I didn't save those. You could see where they were soldered together and glued with that tar-like glue. And the same with these. These came inside of another pack, and you can see where they were soldered together too. If anybody knows what era these are from, I'm going to say 50s, not 40s. They don't have a date. If anybody knows, please comment. But those were inside of a package like this. I don't remember which one the D's came out of. The C's came out of a box. In fact, the box that's in this radio, the 7.5. And I'm going to show you something with that. Look at the top carefully. See where it says 5 size C cells? Most of these, the same Eveready number 717, 7.5 volt filament battery, same number. Some of them were made, or most of them were made, because I have others, with large Minimax cells, large stacks of rectangular zinc carbon cells. And this one was made with those C batteries in it, 5 of them. Again, I truly don't remember what pack those Ds were in. I wish I did, but I don't. It's going to be in one of my previous videos, though. But they came out of something. Okay, back to the job at hand. Very important to use soldering paste when you do this, because you don't want to get it very hot. Heat can damage these batteries, alkalines especially, but these get damaged too. I have a digital voltmeter so we can check how things are when we're done, and we'll start. So, We're on the 22 volt scale. We've got 2 batteries connected. We're showing weak, but that's okay because 2 should be around 18 volts. So it makes sense that we're weak. On 15 volts, we're probably going to be way over.
And say the keyword baby. That's #250 keyword baby. Or donate securely.
I'm wondering if I don't maybe have a weak battery. Let's do a digital test on these. Okay, I don't have any weak cells there. 19.2, that's appropriate for 2 of them. Yeah, that's about right. All right, so we continue. Okay, so I got 3 batteries here on the 30 volt scale. We're showing good, in the middle of good, not to the end. But that's okay because 3 of these is probably not 30 volts. Let's see what 3 of them really is so we can get an idea. All right, so we're running 29 volts on 3 of them. So as you can see, they are above 9 volts, right? Because what would 3 be? 27, correct? So you can see the multiplication of voltage is happening. Okay, so now we have 4, which should be 40 volts. On the 45 volt scale, we're showing just barely good. And digitally, we are almost 40 volts on 4. 39? Just about. Okay, now we have 5 connected. And we're getting to the end of the scale there. So, we're getting there. Okay, so we're now showing fair, just past week, on the 67.5 volt scale with 6. Okay, so we've got our pack together, and we're not quite 90, we're at 86.3. But I think 86.3, 86.4 will work just fine on a 90 volt. It's close enough. Remember, we are short 1 battery completely. So that's what's inside one of these packs, you can see. And we're going to connect everything up. Okay, so here's my finished pack. Let's get it in the box. Okay, we're finished with the pack. And I got to say something to my listeners. 90 volts on my fingers, I can barely feel. But when I was gluing it, I pressed it against my leg. And OMG, right? I have dry hands, so they're not very conductive. If I lick my fingers, this would probably hurt like hell. But on my leg, wow. Yeah, baby. 90 volts on my leg were kind of painful. And it's not 90 volts. I know we said it's 80 something, but still hurts like hell. Let's give it a test. Okay, so there's our assembled pack. We're right in the middle of good on the 90 volt scale. I'll take that. It's under 90 volts. There was enough room that I could have probably squeezed in some cells to get up to 90, but it's really not important. As you can see, this radio is playing happily on under 67 volts, and it's a 90 volt radio, so it's certainly going to be happier with this battery there. Those 2 straps, those 2 rubber bands are gluing it shut, but there you have it, a working battery. And just for the record, it is a number 490 Neda 204 90 volt pack, rebuilt and ready to operate. I have not yet come across a radio that specifically uses this pack, but we are going to use it in this pack. So give me a moment, we'll clean up a little bit, and we'll get to that. And there's our finished product. The voltage range is a little bit 86.3, 86.4. You know, it's because the batteries are warm from the soldering iron. See as they cool? 86.8. As the batteries cool off, the voltage comes up a little bit. 86.8. Let's put it in the radio. Let's play it. Let's hear it play. As the battery cools off, we came up a little more, 87. Real close to 90. Okay, so to install this battery, I have to modify my own modification. Now remember, I modified this radio to use this and this when it originally called for a large singular pack. And now we're going to use this, which I don't have a connector for, so let me show you how we get around that. I have an extension lead that allows me to plug that battery in.
It's everywhere. There's a lot of beaches. The Somali beaches
The battery's installed.
What, Chris? What?
With the 90 volts, I have slightly better volume.
I can respect,
and it's another survivor. So here we go.
I just want to see if I can stay alive.
So that's how you get these old radios powered up.
It's not